It's here. Can't you feel it? This whole room, this everything is in color, and I can feel the air. I can see it. I can see all the molecules.
Today I'm at San Remo, the last bit of mainland Victoria before you cross the bridge to go over to Phillip Island. That's Western Port Bay behind me, and you can just see the edge of Phillip Island there as well. I don't know how San Remo, Victoria compares to San Remo, Italy, but it's still a pretty nice place to visit, particularly if you have to be locked down here for 5 days, as I was this week. Which brings me to the subject of today's video. In September 2019, I gave you the second progress report on the novel that I've been writing, and in March 2020, I was just about to shoot this video, giving you the third update, when the coronavirus hit Australian shores and Melbourne went into the first of its 3 lockdowns. When I last updated you, I was about 60% of the way through revising and rewriting the second draft. I had a lot of time to work on the book during lockdown, and I'm now up above 90%. The extract I'm going to read to you today is a section that I revised and rewrote 1 year ago, and which I was planning to share with you when the coronavirus made landfall. I sorted around the valley, searching for a suitable watering hole where I could debrief myself at the journal. After circling Centro, I settled on the Pig and Whistle at the corner of Brunswick and Robertson Streets. I plunged for a measure of neck oil to supple up my brains and settled myself in a booth at the back of the noisy bar. I unholstered pen and journal and held no bars as I interrogated myself mercilessly on my day game performance of that day. There was a boom box bolted to the ceiling in the corner, and they were playing Beat the Devil with the sound down. A high panoramic establishing shot revealed the porch of an Italian villa perched on an escarpment. The camera swept slowly down in a graceful crane shot to reveal the 2 tiny figures, male and female, admiring the vista as being Humphrey Bogart and Jennifer Jones. From time to time, as I cudgeled my brains for some appropriately self-castigating phrase, I would glance up from my journal as I wrote, and as my covert coup d'oeils clocked the couples clumsily gaming each other in the bar, I grokked with some shock that, up on the screen, Bogey Bogart was gaming the Jones Jane with effortless mastery, like a day game black belt, well avant la lettre.
Bogey.
Now there was an hombre whose confidence never faltered with dames. The man was so suave he could even make a cravat look cool. In the battle to wrangle the intractable will of Jennifer Jones into gentle, feminine compliance, Bogart made few overt moves, but every one he did make, he threw off with sprezzatura. Scoping their mute badminton match of bavardage through the lens of day game, I didn't need the sound up to see that Bogey had La Jones on an adventure date, and that right now they were in full comfort bubble. Her jaw worked non-stop, his hardly at all. She panned the Sicilian scenery incessantly as she peered haughtily down her beak. His focus was entirely on her. If they had actually been in the bar, most people wouldn't have mapped her exponentially escalating compliance. It was so subtle. But for a day gamer like myself, one who was claw-sharp and eagle-eyed enough to pipe the welcome sign she was flashing at him sotto voce, Jones's body jive palled comfort. But, maestro of seduction that he was, Bogey knew damn well not to keep the adventure bubble coasting in comfort. When a thin fenestration did appear in the wall of baffle-gab Jones was trying to bamboozle him with, you could see him spikily reply with a needling tease which momentarily vacuumed the comfort out of the interaction and amped up the attraction. Bogey did nada, said next to nada, eschewed, ixnayed, and 86th any attempts at keno. Yet his Zen technique of seduction was so machine-tooled smooth that within a minute, my claw-sharp orbs remarked the telltale tale of emerging intimacy. Joan subtly relaxed against the railing and leaned in towards him, her shoulder tantalizingly grazing the lapel of his sports coat. She was kenoing him. Within another 30 seconds, she was triangular gazing, looking from his eyes to his lips and back again, with an intensity that screamed she was ready to be bounced. Then you could see Bogey saying something low and slow with killer eye contact, an obvious challenge. Jones's orbs dipped to his lips. That was the spike which burst the comfort bubble. She folded, breaking eye contact in a way that made them both laugh knowingly at the sudden rise in temperature between them. It didn't take him another 30 seconds to put his arm firmly around her shoulders and lead her off to the alfresco escalation venue, as smoothly as if she were on rubber wheels. I think you can see my love of slanguage, the poetry of prose in that extract. It's not easy to get words up to that fine point of polish, and if you're a creative writer, you might be wondering if the novel you're planning to submit to a literary agent or a publisher is really up to scratch. I'm now offering a manuscript appraisal service, what I call content strategy assessments. With a content strategy assessment, which involves a comprehensive written report plus 2 personal consultations with me, I can tell you if the story that you intend to convey to your readers, the strategic arrangement of your content, is the message that they're likely to receive from your manuscript. If you're interested in receiving an appraisal of your manuscript through my content strategy assessment service, I invite you to get in touch with me via the contact form on my website. Go to deankyte.com/contact to get in touch with me. Hopefully the next progress report I give you on my novel will be sooner than 18 months from now, God and coronavirus willing. From San Remo, it's arrivederci.